Hello, ladies and germs, and welcome back to more BTS League action here. We got some European Dota before us. It's Team Alternate versus Broodmothers. We're about to hop into game number 2 after what felt like a very brief game number 1. I'm KotLGuy for Beyond the Summit. I'm going to be joined again by Rime. Rime, can you break down, for anyone who's just tuning in now and missed game number 1, can you give them the TLDR of what happened in game 1?
Well, sometimes a team decides they don't really like the metagame currently, and they try and change it.
Okay.
They decide to go out there and they pick something that isn't like part of the meta. They want to be revolutionary. They want to change the way the game is played.
Yeah.
And then they get utterly stomped into the ground.
Mm-hmm. Then morale's broken.
Did not allow them to. They were like, we're gonna farm our troll and he's gonna beat people up, and then Axe bought a blade mail and deleted him from existence. So it was pretty good, honestly. It was a good game 1. I'd definitely watch it again.
So after a beating like that, do you take all those crazy thoughts you had and just throw them out the window and go back to normal society of Dota? Or do you think Alternate will have the guff to continue to pull out something with a bit of edge? Now this doesn't seem like it's too far from the norm. An early pick and commitment from Batrider. I mean, Eastern Dota is all about this. But
I mean, last game we also saw Oracle Slardar, which wasn't completely out there.
No, that's true.
The first two.
Things got crazy in the
got
second.
plenty of room to go a bit, you know.
It's the second phase where things tend to get a bit spicy. So we'll see. There's a good spicy though. Like Wings Gaming, they offer a great spice occasionally that will occasionally land them millions of dollars. But for some teams, they have a unique cumin kind of a spice that just needs to it needs to find a good home, a good platter to be a part of it. I think Alternate's still searching a bit, but we'll see. Maybe they can pull it back. Broodmothers seem very hot, though. They had a great thing going. They know it works, and they open up with just good and solid opener here, Ryan.
Gotta call it quickly. Broodmothers, they're going to ban OD, or Alternate Attack's going to pick it. OD is very good versus those two heroes.
Okay.
OD must be picked. I declare it so.
Okay, I'm glad you got it in there, because I'll be honest with you. I hate that feeling when you get that tingle in your plums and you know something's going to be picked or banned, and you got to get it out there, but people like me are rambling on. It's happened to me too.
I'm sorry. I know
Don't worry about it. If an OD doesn't come, that's when you look bad. So it's all right.
I'm already waiting just to look bad.
Huskar's the other big second phaser who could get passed on. I have yet to see a cheese Huskar come out in this tournament personally, so we'll see.
I mean, Broodmothers are the kind of team that will just pick Wisp Huskar in this phase, and then they'll be content to do that because it's okay versus Batrider, it's good versus ET. They've got decent lanes already because Conco guarantees that they'll have pick off. OD, come on. OD.
The Morphling ban, options like OD are still out there. I think OD would be an okay pick, Ryan. What do you
I think it would be the best possible pick.
I'm just going to take credit now.
Alright.
They pick it.
10 seconds.
If not that, I wonder if Team Alternate, maybe they got that flashy mid player who can also play a Batrider.
Oh,
get something else.
Oh.
I mean, I called it. I was saying it right there, so I'm going to take all the credit, Ryan.
Yep.
The analyst, you can
Smarter
take
than
over
me.
the play-by-play, it's for sure. So Alternate is going to, I mean, Centaur's kind of, he's been seeing some play. He's pretty good. He offers some potential. He has the great global engage and disengage with if you happen to get an Ags on him, it provides great damage mitigation.
The last team that I saw play Centaur was a team called FDL. I'm not really familiar with them, but they seem to work.
Excuse me, not familiar with Team FDL?
That was a
different life.
What they call a joke, but it wasn't a very good one. I'm sorry.
Many people might not know, but Rime is he is FDL or was. Are you still?
Oh well.
Okay.
I don't know.
Potentially. Depends how far FDL goes. If they deserve you there or not, I guess. Is that
depends if I have time.
Or if you have time, maybe you have your own thing going. There's still plenty of room in NA if you want to hop on a team there. I mean, we might have to throw together a cup, and the team list isn't quite as long and broad as what Europe has, so you never know. I look forward to seeing more of FDL, so we'll see what they do. And
when they were running it, they were running it in combination with like SD, and they were running it at towers. So I think it's going to be a different kind of style.
Okay.
So with the Slark pickups from Broodmothers, they do really like this. Focus may only be able to play Slark, but that may not be the case. But I've only seen him play Slark in any game I've ever seen of him, so
Maybe it's a Greek
he
thing.
likes it.
You know?
Yeah, they do usually like that. It's like also every single mid player that plays carry in pubs will usually go to Slark for some reason. I don't know what it is, but they all seem to gravitate towards the Fishman. So
Slark was like never really around when I was playing Dota 1, so I've never really been a serious fan. He just
Yeah, he
was
wasn't
kind of the
around when
new,
I was
he was
playing
like
either.
the new kid on the block, and then like suddenly I had to put up with this hero when I came to Dota 2, and I wasn't really about it. We had mentioned this guy a little bit in the previous draft, and he'll see some light here. The Darkseer does pop out, always offers that great impenetrable kind of high ground defense, and as long as he isn't just kind of totally shut out by the likes of something like an Oracle, he can hold his own in the lane or alternate to the jungle if necessary. But
anti-mage ban coming up. I'd hope so. Anti-mage looks to be pretty good in this game, I'd say.
it's always nice when you got a Darkseer to go against and can use him as like that time bomb.
So
Well, there's Huskar. He's got to go.
Huskar is out. Huskar is right out. He's not going to be utilised.
So we got to see here for Broodmothers. I imagine they're 5. Their support, their the ward bitch, who's going to take reign of that. Oh, my goodness. The best hero in the game, Rime.
Yeah, he's pretty good. I've been seeing a lot of. I was learning how to do jungle coddle because it's pretty decent.
The boneless
and
strat.
I may have ruined at least 3 pub games.
Well, were you
doing
doing it on like the wrong side?
No. I was doing it on Dire, and I
Okay.
was doing like the whole tree cutting
What
thing.
happened? You like cancel your clarities?
I
or?
think I may have stacked the hard camp 8 times.
Okay. Yeah.
And it may have taken me a long time.
Did you
to
blast
kill
it from the low ground part? Because people mostly think that you have to take it on head on, but if you do it from the
No,
lower
you can-
ground
you
from
can
behind.
blast it from the low ground, but unfortunately I counted at least 3 centaur spawns, so
Oh.
yeah, that didn't it didn't die very quickly, and it also had satyrs and yeah.
Yeah,
So
when it doesn't
after that,
work
I
out, you
learned
feel
to-
pretty embarrassed. Because then you're just
After
like
that,
kind
I
of a
learned
coddle.
to do the whole stack it maybe 4 times and then kill it. So
I mean, you could just do what everyone else does and just get mana leak and be in the lane and really be an asshole. I mean, that's
that's just not me.
not you. To the jungle. Well, for his effect in what he's going to do this game, I'm not foreseeing too much jungle play, given they are on the Radiant side. But I don't know. Team Alternate have 4 offlaners here, so I don't know who is going to be against KotL, but I don't think any of them really care for mana leak too much. So.
Yeah, I'm still. Oh.
Where's the late game? Viper.
Viper.
Viper's here to play. Disgusting hero in its own right, but
that's
the pick
exciting.
for Alternate. Another exciting draft by Alternate here. This is great.
Yep.
I love seeing
Love
these
it.
new faces, whether they're ugly or not. They're here.
Yep, love a good Viper game.
I mean,
gets me going,
he'll
nothing gets
win
me up
his
in the
lane
morning, like-
probably, so that's good. He'll win his
He's gonna-
lane.
What Viper? He's going to go to his lane. He's going to buy treads. He's going to buy a Keeler. He may buy a mech. He may buy Dragon Lance. And he's going to sit there. He might die once. He might get 2 kills. He's probably going to get the tower to half HP by about 6 minutes.
Okay.
Because Podham's going to struggle in that lane. And then he's probably going to die to a boat combo. And then Slark will get farmed. And then he'll get worried because then the Slark's going to get Silver Edge. And then Viper's not going to be so good. But that's only one scenario. So
That's
but
one
the one I prefer, where it involves Viper getting bopped and dying because
We'll
I don't
see.
like Viper.
You could or could not be a clairvoyant on this one, but that is just, on paper, a strong feeling as far as how this game could develop. And, I'm there with you. I feel like, this is something that could happen, but we got to be optimistic here, and we got to see if Team Alternate will be able to pull out something a bit fun here to change things up. Already some heavy presence down here by Broodmothers. I don't know if they're anticipating some sort of invade, but they'll start off with a nice little D ward. So this is going to make the Bat Rider sad. Now he is going to be lacking a bit of vision there on the side, and we'll just have to take that one on the chin.
Yep, so they immediately lose the ward for Ulta, so their offlane is going to have a little bit of a hard time. He's a Bat Rider. He didn't start Iron Talon, so he can't really jungle too effectively. Exotic Deer is going to be picking up the bounty, as well as Kaiser. So, the staining phase is probably going to be a bit quieter than the one we last saw.
I would assume so here. I'm not seeing too much in the rotation department. I would imagine KotL isn't one to kind of run around and make ganks happen. Slark's going to continue to farm his own thing. I mean, hey, there is fun synergy, as we know, between the Kunkka and the KotL. You know, maybe a nice little X-Torrent blast kind of setup, and you can maybe have an opportunity to take down the Bat. You know, that with the Mana Leak not allowing him to really make it away. There is light kill potential there. And then on the other side, I mean, Darkseer. You know?
Uh-oh. Potom is under attack. Potom is getting blocked.
Potom is dead. Potom might be dead. Potom had got leap and was able to step back out, but ooh, we'll be able to
They
salve
lost
up
a
all
lot
the
of
trouble.
XP for that, actually. They lost like 3-4 creeps to the tower for that. So, Potom actually comes out ahead from that exchange. Down a salve, of course, but it's about as good as you can hope for.
And that kind of wastes Elder Titan's time too. He's going to be forced to deny himself and make that long trip all the way back to the base here. So he'll be missing out on pretty much the whole head start of the game. And I'm not sure how much they were putting it behind being able to get a successful pick off there on the Mirana. It was close, but not going to be happening this time. Darkseer is not being too opposed. Zoning Phoenix, I guess, isn't going to be the scariest thing at the moment, so he's going to be able to find the XP and the gold necessary, and will continue to push ahead, which from where this Bat Rider is, because Bat Rider's got nothing right now until he, I don't know, gives up and goes to the jungle or something.
Yeah, so this KotL is going to be one of those guys who is willing to skill Chakra and Mana Leak and just sit in a lane and Mana Leak someone for 10 minutes.
I mean,
Don't know
it
what that
doesn't
says,
sound
but it's-
exciting when you put it like that.
I mean, it doesn't sound too good for the contents of his soul, I know, but it's like...
I mean,
Some
the
people do
guy's
that.
lived a full life. I don't think he needs much of a soul anymore. I mean, if his days now of retirement are just
Easy.
casting Mana Leak and stuff, then whatever. You know, it's a chill job, and I would take it. So you Mana Leak and you allow your safe laner to just kind of have the free lane.
Alright, I admire what ET's just done. Potom's is like CSing on a tower, and then ET just walks into tower range, just stomps her. And then he starts taking tower hits, and
Okay.
Potom leaps forward, goes for the arrow, completely misses. And ET walks away.
I mean, you're going to be a bit disheveled when Elder Titan's coming up and, you know, beating his chest like that. Oh, bottom lane. A pounce right now. Bat Rider's in trouble. And he does make it to the low ground, though, after the back end of his Firefly, and will be in a safe position. Just heavy contention towards this pull camp. And he will be able to make it back out with his life, but he has no more regen at all, and he'll have to do the flight all the way back home. While top lane, I have a Darkseer hanging out behind the tier 1 and just gladly farming down the full wave.
So Centaur's going to be pretty happy under this tower. He brought double tangos, and he's a Centaur, so he's going to miss some CS because return.
What the hell is happening mid lane? Ring around the rosy under this tower. Eventually the Kunkka gets pot-shotted one more time by Exotic Deer and will go down, but this Elder Titan is a man on a mission in this mid lane. He's just looking for any opportunity possible to kind of get something set up for him and his Viper.
Yep, he just runs at the Potom, and the Potom has to sit there and only have 7 CS versus the 17 of Viper, so it's working. Priestess of the Moon is not having a good game.
I mean, I was
And I
expecting the
don't think
Viper
it's
to
gonna
be
get
able to
much
do pretty
better.
good.
So
This is Viper's best moment in the game. I mean, this is his time right now. Mid lane action, taking it to the Mirana and really beginning to swell up because, I don't know, his power peaks tend to happen a bit more in the earlier part of the game.
Yeah.
And he needs to make the most out of it while he can because the grand scheme of things, I don't know if it still bodes so well for alternate. We'll just have to see how things continue to develop.
alright, so he's got the Raindrop, he's got the Aquila. The Raindrop Viper just really doesn't die to very much. So he's got that going for him. Phoenix is going to get some pulls on the small camp. He's been pulling Not very often, really, because Darkseer is kind of hard to pull against, because if you do pull, then he takes the hard camp, and then you lose a wave. So, it's not the easiest. Centaur's got 27 to the 22 of Darkseer, so this lane's actually gone pretty well for Broodmothers. So it might do something to salvage the result of this, I wouldn't say disastrous middle lane, I'd say absolutely catastrophic, for in terms of his CS, so... He's starting to get something in the jungle though, so it's looking better for the bottom.
Yeah, thankfully Ice Rug is blessed with the one-hit KO arrow, so he will have a little bit of a recovery on the side here, while Viper continues to swell up, but there's still plenty of opportunities for Broodmothers on each of the side lanes here. I mean, I would even say also the Slark is doing great. He's at 36 and 9 CS, holds near the top of the net worth for him. Elder Titan has made his first debut down in this bottom lane though, as Batrider has opted to step off for a mighty stack in the jungle. So Elder Titan will get some solo time now, and he finally lays off the Mirana.
Yeah, so the main thing that's going to be... Well, the main things for Radiant that they have to go off are this Kunkka, when he gets his level 6, or when he rotates with an Iron Shell move before then, and when this Slark can really start to pressure. So when he gets level 11, when he gets a Shadow Blade. So Slark, he buys the Ring of Aquila in full, and he's going to send that out to him right now. So he's going to be able to push the lane, he's going to be able to farm a little bit faster, and just be a little bit scarier so the ET doesn't get away with doing stuff like this. This ET really doesn't care about anything, really, does he?
I don't think so. I mean, we'll see how far that allows him to go, though. He gets pounced and doesn't wait with one moment to TP back home, so he'll be fine and not be caught out of position by that front, as he makes his movement right back out. That Batrider had continued to clear out the jungle in the meantime, and there's about 1,600 gold. So he's inching closer and closer to getting that sweet Bat Blink dagger. And on the other front, we have Centaur. So Centaur is level 6, almost level 7 Rime. He's got his ultimate here. Any opportunities that maybe alternate can utilize that and make something happen in his lane or another lane?
It's like, I think the way they're going to run the Centaur, okay, there's two ways they could do it. They could go get the boots and then they go with the dagger and then they try and take fights with them. Or they could go for the other route. And the other route is slightly more interesting. It involves Manta styles, it involves pipes, and it involves just sending Centaur bodies at towers.
That sounds exciting. I like that one. That's a bit different than the normal Centaur.
I remember Team... What's the one with IX Mike on? Team
Freedom? It was Freedom.
Oh, was it Freedom that did that? I can't remember.
I mean, was it Mike himself that did it?
I don't know. I just can't remember who did it now. I think it was Ritsu standing in for someone who did that.
Oh.
It was a while ago, though.
Did it work out?
I can't remember.
Ooh, we got trouble bottom lane. Focus! Trying to avoid the mighty death beam. Will be able to creep and crawl his way up and back and behind, but he's not out of the fight yet. He's looking to go for the Batrider. Gets off the pack, but it's not enough. He's barely alive. Will be able to make it back and away. The Slark and the Bat split paths and head out elsewhere. A mighty blast and one last little poke, and the only person who's going to get the kill is the greatest hero, KotL, at the end of the day.
Yep, so KotL's turning a bit of a profit from these bottom lane exchanges. He's got the only kill on his team. Exotic Deer is going for the Dragon Lance, and he has 56 CS, 31 denies. That's a bit ahead of the Mirana right now. A tiny bit. I'm just kind of worrying, like, is this Darkseer going to get a mech, and is he going to be able to join fights effectively? Because I don't think they're going to be able to fight around this Priestess of the Moon for quite a while, because he's just quite behind. So maybe they get the level 6 on KotL, and then they try and do something with Slark Shadowblade? I'm feeling that like that's the main kind of power peak they've got going on for them.
Boat too. Boat will probably be up around that time, and
But
they'll
help
be able
out.
to make out of that. So there is potential, I'd say. But
no. So Rana just tries to stack the camp. Oh, she doesn't get it because she threw the arrow thinking it would kill the Ursa and then stack the camp, but unfortunately if you arrow the camp it doesn't actually pull it, so she misses the stack.
oh, they didn't aggro the other creeps. I see what you mean.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate. Well, they'll make do with it for now. KotL's able to snag up the haste rune here and flirt around. Could get close enough to maybe snipe him with a mana leak in hopes of locking him in place for maybe a potential setup, but Doesn't seem to be the case. Slark has found a juicy stack that he will be farming up in the meantime. So this game, very different. The last one was so hot and heavy. This one, 1-1, and as we get about into 10 minutes, so a lot of respect and a lot of farm grind happening here between both fronts.
Yeah, so both teams, they're pretty content with this scenario. I think they're, like, both teams, they want to get to a point in the game that's like maybe 5 to 10 minutes from now. I think Broodmothers are going to be looking at like the 5-10 minute mark. I think that Dire are probably going to be looking at maybe 20 minutes from now. Or, because like, this Viper, I don't know how they're going to really fight around it until they get the dagger. Because I'm saying 20 minutes because that's when Centaur starts being able to do the whole pipe manta stuff. So, if of course he's doing that.
Yeah, I mean, do you think a mech candidate's not really necessary here for alternate?
I don't think mech has that much value in this game for them. Because also they haven't. The only person who could really like build it at this point is the Viper, because everyone else is like Viper's. Batrider's already got his mission. He's going to go for the Blink Dagger or Drum, whatever he may choose.
Oop.
ET.
Boat, Torrent combo, blast, everything.
The ET's dead, so he's not going to be going for it.
No.
Yeah, so it's like no one can really build it, and it's not that good.
But
So.
Viper, at least, he has finished off his Dragon Lance here.
Yep, so he's going to be buffing this tower pretty hard.
Oh, yeah.
Priestess of the Moon is going to be... She's going to fly in, and she's going to just as quickly lose half her HP, and then...
Yeah, that's Viper right there.
Radiant's middle tower is under
Flying
attack.
ugly center.
Dire's
Yep,
bottom
he's just
tower is
maxing
under
W,
attack.
and he's just going to go and hit some creeps. Sorry to any Legacy users, I may have said W instead of Nether Toxin. That was very bad of me.
Yeah, it's okay. There's like probably 5 Legacy users watching this, so... What's up, guys?
There's a lot more than you think, actually. There's,
Oh, yeah?
Sometimes you look through the pro players and like someone did a thing of like who uses Legacy and who doesn't. There's quite a lot of them.
Oh, Viper sidesteps, moves away, able to dodge the big hit of the boat. And now as the wall is going to be dropped, Alternate like, okay, we won't pass that wall. Bye. Turn and run away. All right. A little bit of a footsie, but no blood really to be shed.
Radiant structures
Yep.
are
So it's just a period of
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
activity that's inactivity, and now the Slark is gonna maybe bop the Batrider.
Lassoed up, pulled into the spirit. There's the stomp, the burn. Will be enough.
Now,
Tries to shout dance and make it away, but that ain't happening. 2-2 now.
yeah, he was gonna get a Shadow Blade from that. Oh, almost. And now he's been delayed, so Batrider's now gonna buy Dagger if he wants it. Which I assume he does.
Oh, I think he wants it. It's a pretty good item on bat,
Radiant's
I
top
hear.
tower is
So
under attack.
he'll grab it.
Yeah, he gets it. So, we got this Mirana who has point booster. She's going for the Axe. She's ambitious. May not necessarily get the Axe for a while, but I think she's going to be the one that pushes out the lanes for the most part. Whereas Keeper of the Light is going to be Guardian of the Woods.
He's doing a pretty good job. I mean, he's doing the nice little casual side blast to get the triple stack now in the small
Radiant's
camp.
middle tower is
He's
under
just
attack.
trying to set up little pots of gold for his team, or himself maybe, I'm not sure. But either way, they're hoping to build up a little bit of a side bank so that someone's going to be able to benefit from it and try to accelerate the way they itemize.
Okay. So, look at KotL. Oh, he's just got boots. He's the ward buyer.
Yeah, he's...
maybe going to get Tranquil Boots at some point, but he doesn't really have to focus on much. He is just the Illuminate. He is the Chakra Magic. He is
I
the
mean,
one
I would have at
that's
least
independent.
gotten a Windlace. You got to be able to at least efficiently move a little bit faster between these camps, you know? But...
I was having a discussion, I think, with someone on that. We were just talking about, like, Windlace doesn't really do that much for most supports. I think it's an item that's almost strictly for cores, I think, because it's 200 gold that really... There's not many situations where a Windlace would save you, or would let you get that extra initiation. And it's often on heroes where people buy, like, they buy it on Lion, where they go, like, Tranquil Boots Windlace, and they delay their blink by almost a minute instead of... Yeah, this doesn't really feel that good on supports.
The seconds of time I save running from camps and the wards, they all add up to probably about 2 seconds overall Rime in the whole game. So I beg to differ. Oh, top lane. Torrent X combo. All going to be dropped. They blast everything they can. Is it going to be enough to muscle
Centaur's
through
just-
this mighty Centaur tank? No, I don't think so. He Moxie laughs at you and tells you to get the hell back and out, but they will follow it up with a beautiful little lasso grab onto the Darkseer, pull him right back into his own wall and into his grave.
So they've tried to kill the Centaur, and it's not worked. He's just got 140 CS, and he's got a Vanguard and a Hood, so...
Nearly 2k life. He's a mammoth.
That was everything. Oh, is Sparrow going to drop here? No, he's going to... Oh, yes, he is definitely going to drop. Alright, Focus gets the solo kill onto Batrider.
We'll take that. Behind the Viper and behind the Centaur are some heroes that can be killed. So Focus is looking to do what he can to make sure he gets those guys. Elder Titan's not going to allow that. Quickly steps back it away. But I don't know, how long can you pull off that kind of a game where it's like, okay, now we might need to just avoid Viper and the Centaur for the meantime.
Well, when Slark gets the Silver Edge, they do become quite killable, because Viper will obviously lose his Corrosive Skin, and you've got the Centaur, he'll lose his Return. And honestly, Slark is just pretty good against quite tanky heroes, provided that there's no huge amount of damage that discourages Slark from attacking them. Because the kind of fight which Slark loves is the kind of where he gets like one hero that he can just hit for a prolonged period of time, and then you have a Slark running around with like 30 Agi stacks, and then people start dying fairly quickly. So, yeah. But he's probably going to go Echo Saber before that Silver Edge.
We'll see if his priorities are the same with yours here. For now, they're just going to keep casually doing their thing. I don't think we have yet to see the Phoenix Egg, and I think we're going to see it here soon, because bottom lane, alternate, they're rushing in. That is going to be the Centaur ult, which will allow the Batrider to get a lot much closer. They grab Ill, they pull him back, and he is gone now. And with that, the whole attack posse now can move to this bottom lane and claim the +1 in that tier 1 tower.
Yep, so Viper's going to be grabbing the Hurricane Pike. Now, I don't think that's really what you should be going for. I think you should just be getting more damage so he can...
Yasha, Manta, stuff like that?
Yeah, so just more damage, but maybe he's got a specific use, because the Hurricane Pike can actually save you from the Slark pounce, because he pounces you, you walk to the edge of it, and then you can Hurricane Pike out of it. I don't think they fixed that interaction, maybe it's intended, so it's pretty nice for that reason. And Centaur's just going to be sitting here taking the tier 2. And I think there's going to be this period of time where Broodmothers can't really do much to defend these towers, and they're going to have to wait until they have a high level Keeper of the Light, and they have this Ags on bottom. So
yeah, with those they could spam out waves and stall things out and hope that their late game just kind of shines past the ceiling of where a Viper and a Centaur would be, I'd imagine. But I don't know if they'll be given that kind of time. I don't think Alternate's going to be very leisurely calm about the rest of this game and just be like, yeah, we're doing pretty good, let's just kind of go into autopilot now. I think they're going to be set on a mission here. I mean, pickoffs are available for them to get the jump on the Broodmothers, they'll go for it, but you know, any reason why they shouldn't just keep moving forward with objectives while they can, and see if they can force Broodmothers to come.
They don't want to give away the tier 2, so that's mainly the reason why they moved up, because it's still a lot of gold to give to a team that's, let's see, 4k gold behind at this point. So Centaur is becoming very powerful. He's got a heart now, I think, if he wants to buy it.
That's
so
crazy.
Yeah, he's just
big.
He's going to have quite a lot of health, and it's going to be very difficult to kill him.
Well, you just
and he's going to... All he needs to do is put himself in front of towers.
Oh, global stampede used to allow the Batrider casually move in there and get the pickup. Slark goes down, and alternate out for vengeance after that unmerciful beating in game number 1. They're making it look as if it never should have happened here in game number 2. So, at this point you start to realize that Slark, his strength isn't in this game where you have to like defend against the enemy team 5-man. He's good in games where you can force the enemy team to like farm less, to not go and show in lanes, and you get the solo pickoffs, and then eventually you get to the late game and you get the Skadi, you get the BKB. But yeah, in
this game, none of that is going to happen. The Centaur's just going to walk down lanes and he's going to take every single one of your towers, and there is not a single thing that Slark can do about it until he gets a lot more farm. And now the heart's picked up, Centaur's sitting on 3.3k HP, and until they deliver some damage, it's going to keep regenerating.
Yeah,
So,
if this was another dimension and Slark was mega farmed, I mean, you'd look at the Centaur like free agility to stack up, but okay, they're going to try their best. They're throwing the boat at him, and well, after a simple force staff, he's repositioned out good. Vacuum pullback, they are going to be able to take down the ET, but as Focus tries to make his move advancing in, he quickly realizes he's in a bit of a jam and has to get the hell out through the back door. So not too much damage done, a mild scratch on the surface of Alternate here.
yeah, it's quite unfortunate that they killed the ET and they were hoping to get the gem quickly, but the Viper kind of intervened and swooped in and took it.
Yes, he did. Speaking of which, that same Viper has just absolutely poisoned up the old man. He is just going to be trekked apart. Looks like he's barely able to live. Blast gets him in the end. Oh yeah, Connell payback there.
Connell almost died.
I thought he was going to die for sure, and then he was going to get one last blast to finish off the Viper at the end, but he lives. Viper dies.
And they get
Game's
the gem
even.
back. That is the important thing there. Not only do they kill the second highest net worth hero in the game at that point, they also get the gem. Viper is now looking at his Hurricane Pike going, why didn't you save me? And he realizes he didn't force down to the low ground, so what are you going to do about that? ET is going down to bot. He's got his Windlace, he's got his Urn. He's probably going to get Yules at some point. He's almost level 11, so he's going to start to be a little bit scarier. Maybe Broodmothers have to be a little bit more careful with their positioning. And Phoenix has got his Midas recipe, so maybe in a minute or two he'll get Midas, and then it's level 11, and then glorious bird things will happen.
Not too much bird action this game, I'll say, but yeah, the egg definitely gets a lot better. Not so fragile once he at least bumps it up to level 2, but I don't know. What do you think about his impact of the game outside of just being able to acquire the Midas? Has it felt like the Phoenix was like a necessary pick to the lineup that Alternate have already been finding a lot of success with?
Well, I think he's been doing what he has to do. He supported top, he zoned, he did what he could to zone the Darkseer. The Centaur had a pretty decent time, he had almost complete free farm. He got levels at a top, so... And now he's taking time out of the game to get his Midas. He doesn't really need to do that much, honestly. I mean, his egg isn't really useful at this point because Slark has his Echo Saber. He'll kill it in less than a second almost. So, I think he's wise to just kind of farm away, get his stuff, and be ready to sit behind people. Because eventually he's going to get to the point where Centaur is getting gone on by Slark, and then he's going to get Sunrayed, and Sunray's going to heal him for some ridiculous amount.
Yeah.
Because it's percentage, so it's like, how are you going to kill this guy?
Can't forget about the ridiculous Sunray based on percentage, and with someone like Centaur, that is just ridiculous. A ridiculous combo in itself. So
yep, he's going to get an Aegis, and he's going to run up buildings, and those buildings are going to fall over.
It's going to take him a little bit because it's not the craziest amount of damage. Carl's going to be there to blast him down, but tried to pull off a bit of an Ake play there, but not the right angle if you want to get them caught in the high ground.
He's just going to send... Oh, is he going to steal it?
Steal it, bird!
Oh, no!
Oh,
So close. Actually, can they... how much damage does it do to Roche?
a little bit. I mean, for God's sakes, I saw a clip earlier with a Shadow Demon KSing a Roche with a Flow Poison. I'm sure an Illuminate could do the same. Nonetheless, quickly, Broodmothers have to get the hell out of this top lane. Once the Roche goes down, they know the rotations could be coming, and they don't want to risk crossing paths. Now Alternate are going to be even bigger and beastlier than they were for the last approach, so how the hell are they going to kill the Centaur?
Centaur's just... He's got an energy booster.
Alright.
Why does he have an energy booster? I guess he doesn't like Mana Leak, I suppose.
Lotus Orb, yeah? I don't know.
Yeah, he's going to Lotus Orb himself.
God damn it.
So. I thought he was going to go AC, and then I'm like, my brain still doesn't compute Lotus Orb as being built. Like, I don't see the components of it and go, that's a Lotus Orb. It's still too much of a new item for me.
Alright, you'll have to let me know if anything happens. I've recently had this bad habit of... What the hell, Dota? Of accidentally hitting the... Alright, game is not already running. You sinner. Okay, here we go.
Okay, Slark tried to go in from behind. He walked straight into a sentry, got lassoed by Batrider, and fell over. So now they're hitting the tier 2, and Slark is dead for 40. And now Centaur is just walking up to the high ground. He doesn't care about the creep wave. The tower is 1300, 1200, 1100. 1,000.
Lord have mercy, get me in this game!
700.
There we go.
400.
Whoa! We're in.
Dire's bottom
My lord, Dota. Alright, we're in now. Just in time. There goes the boat. It looks like Alternate were able to kind of reach right through this tier 3 with Rax's now exposed. They're looking to close the series out with a sweet 1-1 split. What are Broodmothers going to do to stop this ridiculously big and beefy Mighty Centaur War Runner? They can't even seem to get him down past 2.5k, and he's regenerating it back almost as fast as he's taking it here. But you got to say, the damage department of Alternate isn't the craziest thing, so it is a bit of a slow siege. But still, Broodmothers just don't really have too much to make it work. Finally, there's going to be a snag. Pull back onto Focus. The only one that really could do the deeps here for Broodmothers is going to be taken out of the equation so fast. Out on the sidelines for about a minute. Potom set to go down as well. They need a bit more. They're not going to be able to get it here. All the meanwhile, Centaur continues to just chop down these racks. He will do work onto the melee. Bat Rider, unfortunately, will fall victim. And I guess after just taking the one racks, Alternate will be content and walk on out.
I mean, what is a fight without Slark walking from behind into a sentry wall and getting lassoed by Bat Rider? There's just, it's just not a fight without it.
I mean, it's just not a just not a fight with that happening. It's just pretty much Slark being taken out of the game altogether and Alternate doing as they please.
Centaur has his Lotus Orb. He is Lord of all he surveys, and now he's going to get into the stat levels. So let's look. Oh, 4 points of strength per hero level. So stat points. So he's going to get 120 health every single level. So that's pretty nice. We'll see him reach 4k in the next 5 minutes or so. I was also finishing up the pipe. Yep, there we go.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell they're going to do to stop him. He's so big. They have to hope that they're at a point where Slark could just use him for his own benefit, but
He does have max E now, and he has the Silver
Yeah.
Edge, so... But I don't think that he can really do much of anything.
Dire's top tower
not alone. He runs out, but the train's coming here in the bottom, and they're inside. So
The tower is dying so quickly. Oh,
Nice.
Conker's staying exactly where he is.
all right, Lotus out. They move in. They try their best to poke and slow down and just try to burst this wave. They'll get it down, but now going into the racks, a slow chop from the Centaur. There's the lead in, the vacuum, the wall, the bow, everything. But that ray is going to keep him alive. The little paramedic Phoenix is going to continue to go to work. Now the jump in from Focus. He goes in the Shadow Dance and tries to run back out. They're chasing for him, though. While that happens, the egg will pop off and stops all backliners from being able to move on forward. And Alternate, after taking out the Mirana, she will buy back, and they just go right back into work trying to chop down this melee racks. They change course and see Focus. Focus is going to be forced to prance out, gets hit with that one auto shot, and is barely able to stay alive. He'll have to go all the way in the fountain to heal on up, though. Centaur still.
Like, the bottom and the Darkseid just walk straight past the Centaur. They know they're never touching that guy.
They can't. Look at him. He's just slowly going at the base, and they can't do anything about it. Like, what are you going to do about it?
They just try to torrent other people. They can't do anything to him.
He's at full life again. Blasts are flying forward, and he's like, what are these mosquitoes? I got a base to kill. He's just jumping down the range racks. It's like the most slowest, painful death ever.
Yep,
All right.
and he's just going to walk over to middle and just hit that Rex too. Or are they going to back?
Aww.
Alright, no, they're out for a little bit.
Suppose it could
mean-
wait for the Roche. I can't see the timer anymore, unfortunately, but looks like...
I've seen safe lane Centaurs go wrong, but I've never really seen them go this right. So, it's quite interesting to see.
Yeah.
And by interesting, I mean absolutely miserable. Imagine just being one of these Radiant players and you're just like, we need to stop that Centaur. And then you just work out, how can we stop that Centaur? And you finally realize that you can't stop that Centaur.
Yep. You kill everything around him, and then, I don't know, hope for the best
maybe-
at that point.
Is this going to be the stat harvesting of 2016?
Okay.
No.
As...
Oh, Phoenix maybe?
Oh, Phoenix is here, though. There's the casual blast. He's trying his best to slow down the wave. But no kill opportunity yet. And Focus does not feel comfortable making the go in. Knows that the rest of Alternate could be around, and there's Always a Bat Rider to be worried about. Mortal enemy right now to the Slark. But here comes the Centaur train, Ryan, right down north. He's way out in front of his team, and I don't really blame him.
I mean, there such a thing as out of position for this Centaur? Where he is the position to be in. He's not going to die. You can't pick him off.
But here we go. Complexity wrap around, it looks like, for Broodmothers here as they try to go for the flank play. First target is going to be the Phoenix. Beautiful pullback and vacuum. Could take out too fast, and they are going to be getting the Viper, and they will get the Phoenix. Only leaves 3, including the mighty Centaur. Can they do enough? Bat Rider to the high ground. Elder Titan to retreat. Tries to go for the teleport. Can they make it out? Yes, they can. They both make it away. And now it's just Centaur. Can they take out Centaur? Can the 5 of them fight Centaur? They'll try. And it looks like they will.
So many stacks.
They swarm, and the stacks begin to creep in. And finally, they will slay the beast. And we're 9-9 in, Rime.
I'm sure like Radiant have some kind of DKP system after they kill that guy. Like, he's just unreasonably big, but they still do have a Slark and they have lots of control, so if it's just Centaur alone, then he's not particularly hard to deal with. And you've got the ET with the Eels, so the support system of the Centaur is getting stronger. The Phoenix is probably going to buy an Ether Lens, but he could have bought it already if he really wanted it, so maybe he wants something else.
I don't know. I don't think a second Lotus is super necessary, but...
Yeah, it doesn't seem like that good at all, so I would just buy the Ether Lens if I were him. Unless he has some ambition to commit Sudoku.
Jump in, Bat, trying to make chase forward the Slark, but will be a bit short, being able to get the catch there, so... You know, Broodmothers are never say die mode. They are moving in and out. They're avoiding the trouble unless they feel like it's something that they can comfortably go for. They survive that top lane push, and they'll live on a bit. But more time will be necessary here. If things keep going like this, though, Ryan, we could be in that kind of situation where Broodmothers could, you know, eventually turn back.
Yeah, they could very well. If they kill Centaur another time or so. He's got something on the career, though. I'm not sure what it is, but I don't know how to check very easily.
It used to be the 2 hockey, yeah, but they changed.
If they do kill the Centaur again, and the Viper doesn't get another item very quickly, then they could very easily take control of this game. Because the Slark, he's going to get more and more relevant, and he's going to get better and better at killing the Viper and the Centaur. But I think the main thing is that they can do enough damage to the Viper before he pops his BKB, because before he got hit by the Torrent and the Boat and the Starfall, I think, before he got his BKB off, and then when he BKB'd, he just got hit by a Kunkka Tidebringer and fell over. So I think if Viper can be quicker with his reactions, or Broodmothers are a little bit slower, then this Viper is just going to be able to bop people, and bop them he shall. He's got a DD right now, he's looking at Roche, he's wondering where his Centaur is. Centaur's like, alright, oh, Centaur, are you... Oh my god. Look what he's got.
Is he going for second heart, or is that satanic? That's
a second heart.
That's a lot of life. That's a lot of strength. It's almost too much. Too much gains.
He's too strong.
That's crazy. Alright, well, they're going in now for the other big guy in the map, claiming that extra life here. I was going to say before that, when we were lightly talking and touching on Kunkka, that it's a real shame he wasn't able to kind of throw together the armlet. He might be trying to save it for it now because, you know, double Tidebringer with the Coddle wouldn't be too shabby.
Like, everyone in Europe seems to be doing this thing where like they just go Banner Boots, Ether Lens, and they kind of resign themselves to never really using Tidebringer as much of a damage source. But I really think that the teams that really do take advantage of that are much stronger.
Oh yeah. We saw a little bit of it yesterday. It's not like they all don't do it, but I have seen it pretty split down the middle with some. But here comes Alternate here. They're not looking to kind of play with the clock any longer and risk waiting to see if this Slark could be a problem or not. They have the Aegis now. They have everything they could ask for, and now they have the mid lane set of racks. Only one more set of racks separates Team Alternate from claiming the Mega Creeps here, and it looks like this could be the potential jump play. Darkseer leads in, but doesn't fully commit quite yet. Now the Stampede will fly out. They try to go for Focus, but Focus has the BKB out. Lots of damage here for the Viper. Can they be able to finish him off? There's a low sword pullback. Tidebringer, big connection with the bow and the wall, and they quickly take out 3. Now it is going to be the Aegis there of the Viper. He comes back with a second life, while on the backhand side, they are going to catch a nice little lasso pullback for the Slark, but he quickly just is able to get right out of it and go right back to work. Now the Viper back in action, puts his focus on for the Darkseer, but Darkseer is able to try to run away, but he does burn down to the dot damage. But now the Slark changes his sights and puts his focus onto the Viper. Viper's going to be going down, and Centaur, although meanwhile had been trying to retreat up north. He's big and he's bad, and it might be slow to go down, but could end up being a nice, juicy agility stack party for the Slark. Yummy, yummy. Goes right in, and we'll be able to just slowly and surely turn the Centaur into real man-horse meat.
Yep. So Centaur, once again, he lost his entire team, and he doesn't really have any recourse to that. So, I mean, surely, like, wouldn't... I guess BKB would be more effective in a second heart, I think. Unless he really does enjoy just seeing a return kill absolutely everything. But what can you do?
All right. Was that enough? Broodmothers are in this now, and they're crossing the river, and it's their time. Yule's too on the Kunkka. Okay, really doesn't want to go for any damage. My goodness. But
yep. He is not a fan of hitting people. He just likes looking at them and casting spells.
Yeah. Well,
honestly,
that's his thing. That's his thing. Broodmothers, they're on the verge. They're looking to pull this one back. You're talking about a game that was once over 12K of net worth with a Viper and a Centaur that couldn't seem to be stopped. But eventually the clock continues to tick. The Slark continues to swell up. And it doesn't become as difficult for them to be able to take down these mighty raid bosses. I mean, hell, even the Mirana has been able to accumulate some decent bursting power with their Dagon, Ags, and Veil. So,
yeah, I'm not sure. Like, I think the Potom has just designated herself like the support killer in this game. She's just making sure that the Phoenix doesn't get anything off. The ET has to use Yules defensively, things like that. Because this Potom, I think if he wanted to confront like the Viper or something like that, he needs to be more right-click oriented. But that's up to him. And the KotL's got his Ags, but unfortunately it's nighttime, so... rip someone.
They're trying to make a move and make a catch happen here. It will be a lasso pullback for the KotL. They also make a move on the Kunkka here. He's going to be forced to self-Yules, but won't survive. Shortly after, they lose two, and just as we're getting ready to talk up the Broodmothers here, they almost lose more than the two. Slark is able to make it out the last moment under a Shadow Dance and teleport, but...
Yep, Centaur knows like they need to go down mid. They need to force buybacks.
Yep.
Because honestly, they're not content with this game situation thus far. Because the Centaur, he's not really able to do much. They need to make him relevant, and by doing that, they just need to force buybacks.
Kunkka buyback there. Just can't believe with all the Centaur hats and sets out there, this guy really doesn't have like any at all. But here he goes inside for the tier 3, and we have to see what the final hurrah potentially could be here for the Broodmothers, because Alternate on a warpath right now to make it into Mega Creeps, and here goes Ill, Torn Boat.
That's not a good sign.
But yeah, that's not the lead-in they're hoping for. And it's not enough to be even close to scratching the surface of the Centaur. So he continues to go to work, gets the melee down to about half of its life. Now Slark begins to go in, starts sucking up the agility. That will force the others to make a move forward, but that's when Darkseer pounces, moves in, gets off a vacuum wall combo. BKBs are going to be forced. A jump in, a pullback onto Ill with the help of the lasso there. On the other side, it's Kaiser now. Going to get stomped down, going to get chopped up, tries to leave it, make it back in the way, but he's going to be going down. Here comes Focus, who could be the final man to make a stand for Broodmothers, and he's going to put all his sights here for the Viper. We'll be able to bring him down. Next sight's going to be the Centaur. Can he suck up the damage necessary to be able to burst him apart? He goes for it here. And, well, it looks like he's going to get it done. The Broodmother's hold is still there. And it looks like, well, Alternate are able to move in and do some work on a tier 3, but that's the end of the road for him. Focus with a triple kill. And now all 5 of Alternate will drop. Rime, I think Broodmothers, I think they're back in this game now.
I think they may have put rather too many of their eggs in the Centaur basket. Especially the whole, he has lots of HP, you can't kill him thing, because he's starting to not really have much of a support system left, because they just go straight on the supports. The Phoenix is dying quite... Well, he's not dying fairly early on, but he's going to get forced to use his dive defensively and things like that. He can't Sunray as well as he'd like to. The Viper is being forced to use BKB very early on, and then he's having to fight the Slark without BKB, while Slark still has BKB and ulti. So it's getting to the point where this Centaur, he can go in still, but there's no guarantee of his team staying alive with him.
Would there have been any sort of value in like a keeping or holding on to like a late game blade mail when it's like you and a Slark's just trying to go ham, or is it like he'll just wait for the blade mail to end?
He'll just wait.
It's just
I
like,
think-
what do you do at this point when you're just a big mass? It's rough. You can't help but feel like the timing window might have just came and went.
Yeah, I think I did like the Manta when I saw like a Manta Abyssal on Centaur when I saw this build before. Like he had, instead of the second heart and the Lotus, he had Manta Abyssal. I think that was a better build, but he does have 5,000 health. So I'm not one to disagree with someone who has 5,000 health. But
I mean,
someone with 5,000
yeah.
health could very easily not have a team, because this team does not have 5,000 health.
No, they're lucky to have half of that. Mega kill here as Focus will be able to get the quick pick, taking out the Phoenix. And a casual arrow kind of spotting out the Batrider on the side. We didn't catch the start of that, but Phoenix way up at the top, just kind of pushing the lane out. Meanwhile, bottom,
5,000 health.
it's over 5,000. I mean,
He's just
Viper
health.
almost pounced up. Has to pop his BKB, but not able to make it back and away here with all the bashes flying through. There's an arrow, and there's a kill on the Viper. He's going to be out for a little over a minute without a buyback here, and it looks like this could be the beginning of the end. Broodmothers held on to what looked like a very one-sided start of the game with an unstoppable Centaur force, but they have weathered the storm, and they will be able to reevaluate, reposition, and make a good hurrah push down this bottom lane. Talking about a team that's down 2 sets of racks.
Oh, Slug's trying to take this tower, but it's not really working out. Oh, he barely doesn't catch the Batrider, but he would have BKB'd it regardless, so... Yeah, they don't actually get the tier 2 there, so... That isn't really what Broodmothers wanted. The tower gets denied by the man with many health. And Slug begins to take some of it.
Yep. Okay, Centaur's like, I don't want to give this guy too much power, and we'll be forced to step back, but a boat's a-coming, and it will land and connect. And now Slark, 41 stacks, continues to just bring it all in.
He has ulti in 5, he's going to go back in, he's just going
Yes, he is.
to try and get even more.
There he goes.
Oh, here we go.
Moving on in, shoves in, they get the torrent, and he wants more. Give me the goods, give me the agility, yumme, yumme, give me all the
47.
stacks, 50 stacks. All right. 5,000 life, 50 stacks, 53 stacks of agility.
HP now, he's lost so many stats.
Oh my. Can't make their way to the high ground quite yet, though. I guess you got to give Alternate that kind of credit, and it will force Broodmothers all the way back and away.
It's actually really satisfying to see the Centaur just get hit by the Slark.
It's just a punching bag at this point for the
It's
Slark.
just feels like one of those like clicking mobile games or whatever. Like you
Big-
just keep clicking and you just get more and more things.
Big neat sack right now. But oh god, he's
They're apparently fine to coexist.
yeah, I guess. Center's got to be careful here. All right, well, they don't lose anything in the base yet. Alternates still hold on to everything here, but I don't know how many attempts they have to kind of all in down middle or even make it past the river from here moving forward. Roche is back up, and it's certainly on the radar here for Broodmothers, and well, in fact, they're already going to head into the pit now, so it was a hard enough fight
Damage.
before, but
Now it's even harder.
yeah.
DD is on Slark and they have the Vlads now on Darksist, so he's gonna actually just start gaining health whenever he's fighting the Centaur. Because he's gonna be hitting for, even without the DD, he's hitting for like 300. And that goes up the longer he fights him. And he's gonna disable the return with the Silver Edge, so Centaur really doesn't do anything anymore.
He should have just
Because
gotten
there are-
Ags so he can just run over the trees and mountains and away from Slark at this point.
Because there are no, apart from the tier 4s, there are no buildings that left that Centaur can really influence in any way. So, it's like, is he regretting his second heart? Does this beast have the capacity to regret?
I mean, is there any part of it also that your other, you know, late core is a Viper? I mean, I don't want to put it on the Viper pick, but it was their final grab, and we already all
I
know
think
the
they
stigma
just
with a
felt
Viper.
like they needed another pushing core, but I don't think they did. I think they could have got away with like another a hero that fought. I'm not going to say OD, but I'm definitely going to say they should have picked OD.
Okay.
Like, there was just something that was comfortable in the late game that had a large amount of burst damage that could maybe maneuver a bit better. Because this Vipers just has to sit there and die. They've got the two of the worst cores in the entire game against Slark, and Batrider doesn't really do much against them either.
Here
But
is...
they still do have 2 ranks up, so...
Yeah, I mean, for how long, though? We'll see. Broodmother's already
Oh,
outside the
no.
front door here. Centaur Lotus forced inside to
I
safety.
think if he pounced that, then he would have got like 15 stacks or something from that. But he shows mercy.
Okay, let's see how many he can grab from this one. There's a Lotus and pullback. Gets the pact and softens him up a little bit. Slowly but surely here. Batrider, in the meantime, had taken flight. I don't know if he was hoping for a catch right there, but no opportunity presented itself, and now they'll be forced to wait it out. I don't know if this is enough of a window for Broodmothers to try to close things out on the inside here, but they will continue to lurk and just kind of split the difference across the board here. Looks like Darkseid will kind of make sure the pressure in the top lane is still all the ways in, while Mirana works on the bottom, and you know, they're just trying to spread alternate thin as much as possible. And it looks like they've been able to get a catch here in the bottom lane. A jump in connect with the Abyssal will quickly take care of the Batrider. There goes the Stampede. Centaur will try to fly on in, gets hit in the head with the bow, and already alternate have to scurry back inside. They are going to try their best to fight things forward. The Dragonlance Viper hitting from those back lines, but easily Broodmothers will be able to disengage and just kind of reposition. So alternate lose a little bit, but not doing really any sort of efficient damage here to keep Broodmothers away.
Yeah, the sad thing about this is that alternate, they have to fight because they can't split push. They know they can't split push. Like, the only thing Centaur could do is walk into the tier 4s, but even then he's not going to kill the throne. So he's bought his BKB, he's got a 10-second BKB for this next fight. And I'm not really seeing how this BKB can do anything other than, like, make the enemy team focus his team even more than they already have been. To be honest. Because they can't split push, so they have to fight, but we've seen the last, I don't know how many fights go the way of Broodmothers.
Jump
Can
in,
we get the
lasso. This one is going to be for the Kunkka. All right.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, they got the pirate. Take him out. Sorry, he's not really a pirate. He's like an admiral, but nonetheless, he's gone. And here comes Centaur down the mid lane. So, I don't know if one little Kunkka is going to be enough, but they'll take what they can. And then they'll pause and discuss. Because it's not the
guys,
same.
what do we do?
It's not like the last game. It's not like these guys have like heavy wombo combo to really just kind of hold it up inside the base. They don't have a late game to really fall back on here moving forward. It'd have to be like one hell of a wipe. Make sure Slark's definitely out for good, and try to finish out what you started inside the base.
Well, it's like also like this. Like Phoenix will be able to hold high ground for a long time, and they have a Centaur who can sit in front of the creep waves, and the creep waves will die very quickly. They have a lot of nuke. They have ET. So, also the thing is, can Broodmothers end the game? The answer to that is no. They can't actually go high ground at all with their heroes, and neither can alternate. So both teams just have to keep fighting, and they will keep fighting until there is a winner.
It's just destiny.
It's going to take a long time, unless both teams make several mistakes, I think.
I mean, I've seen plenty of mistakes even, today. It happens, but it would have to be a pretty serious mistake at this point. But
yeah, it's just like we could be experiencing this for quite a while. And that's not a bad thing, because I do enjoy seeing a 5.5k health Centaur.
I mean, you don't see it every day, that's for sure.
Yeah, he hits for 300, and that's okay. I don't know what else to say about him other than
I wish it was a Pudge with those items and health. That'd be cool.
Maybe.
But it's not. It's a Centaur. And for now, he will try to return damage his way back in this game. But for now, he's just a a big wall of a defense, which Broodmothers are just kind of sapping the life force away from. It looks like we have a little bit of a hold up here at the end. I do want to remind you guys that we are about to finish up our second 2-game series of the day, and we're not done yet. There actually is going to be another series to follow this. Rime will be leaving us, and we will have Ryu Boris joining in for our final series, which I actually think I still have the schedule thing here. Oh my god, I do. Which should be Flipside versus Yellow Submarine. I will have to touch base and see if that's still all happening on schedule. I know these teams don't want to be in a situation where they're going to be waiting too long, so we'll have to see what's happening. It's been a long day already, but we are going to get back into the game. And where we left off, Broodmothers advanced past the river here and still trying to make an approach inside the Alternate's base, where they have yet to even, well, take a tower.
Alright. Towers. Well, okay, Dire still have all their tier 3s up. One of them's a bit low, but it's difficult for them to actually walk up because there's always the threat of the lasso. And Slot, he's going to take some stats for himself.
That bash. Hit, Lotus. Centaur said, I had enough. I'll try to fight a bit. And never mind. Waits
Slot
back.
gets a bit harder. Centaur is a little bit less tanky.
Yeah.
And now the bottom has got Dagon 5, got Veil. I think she's starting to regret not going right click.
Jump in, lasso grab on their easiest target, being the KotL, which they will be able to finish. Another feather in the cap here for Alternate. I don't know if they're going to be able to utilize that for any sort of advancement on their part. But KotL's going to be out for about 1 minute time. I mean, he does help quite a bit, I guess, spamming the lanes out and keeping the pressure on Alternate. But as it is right now, it looks like we are just going to see the Aegis expire, and another 4 minutes or so before the new Roche is going to be back up. Will we get to that point? Who knows? We may.
I think, yeah, we might do. I want to see, like, I think the Slug should have a Mjolnir or something, because so they need someone with it just to push waves a bit faster, so there's some sense of urgency for Alternate to have to defend the lanes, but with the state of the Raxus as they are, I think they don't really have to worry too much. Like, Focus doing a little bit of a check with the Shadow Blade just to see if there's anyone else who's going to stop him from victimizing this poor guy.
Yeah, I mean, you could move in, vacuum, stampede. Centaur runs towards the arms of his team, and we'll be able to make it away. But you would think that maybe with Dark Seers, Ion Shells, KotL Blast, that should be enough to pressure some of the other lanes, but it doesn't feel like Alternate is too threatened at the moment.
Yeah, I don't think anything I know about Dota 2 really covers what's happening in this game, because I don't understand Dire's draft, really. I think I know what it wanted to do, but I don't really see how it's meant to succeed if the enemy team have any kind of hero that is good against Centaur. Well, they don't have a way to deal with the Slug. And I don't think they will ever have a way to deal with the Slug unless they get, like, maybe Hexes, or the refresher on Bat Raider might be helpful, but I'm not really seeing it. So, but they've got time. They're not going to have their base under threat for quite a while.
Problem is that their farm rate is just it's pitiful. I mean, they luckily don't have to fight in any sort of like Rax creeps or anything, but being able to go too far out from home is just not a thing right now. I mean, right now it is. I mean, they smoked up, they move in, they actually managed to grab Focus, pull him right back, and they blast him down in time. They certainly can. He's actually going to be out 100 seconds. No buyback at the moment. Is he close to one? No. 1,500
no
gold. Okay then.
Bottom is desperately trying to kill the wave. Yep, she veils it, and there's no wave middle. And I don't think they don't have a wave, so they might be able to get to the tier 4s in time. But they don't know that Slark doesn't have a buyback, I think.
Yeah, they'll probably just assume he does. And not even bother, it looks like. That's a
So
shame.
I like the Abyssal for the Centaur. It's actually proving quite useful. It means they have another thing. Basically, they just need more and more disable, so Slark doesn't feel safe just right-clicking away at the Centaur. So you have this disincentive for him to hit you. And the Abyssal does just that. But the Centaur is deprived of buyback for the next
Yeah.
1,400
And
gold.
you know, he managed to scrap together the farm to even put that Abyssal together, but I don't know if everyone else is as fortunate. Viper.
They're not going to be able to do anything about this Slark pickoff though, because they're just getting
Yeah.
every creep wave boated or double starfalled.
There's so much outspam here on Broodmothers. It's almost not even fair. Alternate's just going to have to... I mean, they'd be lucky at this point to be able to muscle their way even towards the river. Getting that kind of opportunity where they got the initial pickoff on the Slark, I don't know how many more of those there's going to be. But they're going to go for another one. Bottom lane, it's on the Mirana. Grab lasso, pull back, they burn her down. And it's a successful pick. Alternate
Yeah, this
will
is
take
one of
that
the benefits of having the 2 racks up, because the enemy team are forced to go and push these lanes out, and when they push the lanes out, they expose themselves.
Yep.
So it's one of the good things that Dai have got going for them. And also, if they get this Roche, then the Aegis will go to the Viper, and then they don't have the ability to kill the Viper immediately without having to worry about their BKB or their ulti on Slark. Because before, he was seeing a Viper with no Aegis, and he was just going, I'm going to kill this guy, we're both going to use our BKBs, and then I'm going to have my ulti afterwards. But he doesn't have that guarantee now. So Slark can't safely just do all the damage that he wants if they get this Aegis, which they will. So there is plenty of opportunity here for Alternate to, provided they get a look into the mid-creep wave, they will be able to do quite a bit of damage to buildings.
Man, what a crazy game. I mean, you look at the net worth graph, this is the definition of what's been pretty damn back and forth here. It was once a 12k advantage one side, is right back the other, and then almost back even once again. Alternate getting a couple of big net worth pickoffs, a follow-up with a Roche, now having the extra life, and as you already mentioned, you know, still comfortably holding all of their base structures, all of their racks, means that there's really no pressure on them to make sure they continue to keep these lanes in check. All that pressure is still on the Broodmothers. You know, for their benefit, they have a lot of ways to be able to spam out these waves and keep the pressure off, but the pressure is just going to continue to always be there. So that's where, you know, we were saying, and this could be a bit of a long one, because we just keep getting in that kind of equal matchup. One's better in finding shape as far as base structures go, but the other one just has better heroes that scale better in the late game and just hit harder.
I think it's one of those instances where you think that one team, because they did very well in the mid game and then they fell off, that they're not going to be strong in the super late. But Viper is actually one of the better rank thickers as the game goes on, and now he's got this Aegis. He's a massive threat to the Slark, because the Slark, honestly, he's got an AC, but he doesn't do that much damage unless he gets quite a lot of stacks up. So they need to protect him until he gets to the point where he is a threat. So for the first like 25 stacks or so, he's going to need to probably do it under the cover of a boat or something similar. Or maybe use his ulti even. So it's like all about whether they can get enough damage done during the Slark's windows of attack.
It's not very often you get to see a Viper be able to succeed and make it through, I guess, what you would consider his awkward, quote, late game phase, where he doesn't really offer a whole lot. It's kind of like the Viper's puberty, but he eventually makes it through, and now suddenly he's a deepser. Got you know, the butterfly and stuff, and he's a problem. And
because is this Slark really going to be able to go for an MKB? Like, it's not really that good against the Centaur.
No.
It doesn't provide that much. It's only really to kill the Viper.
You get like, oh god, why am I blanking on it? What's the brand new item? But you get it on like Mirana, the Bloodthorn or something. I have no idea.
Bloodthorn.
And you hope for the best at that point, because I don't see Slark himself being able to pick up the MKB. But back and forth we go, and suddenly, after what feels like about 20 minutes time, Alternate is the team now going back at the front door of the Broodmothers here. As mentioned, they already have taken down not one but two sets of racks. So they're getting close to closing things into Mega's territory. Let's see if Broodmothers now will be able to have their own high ground hold. With Darkseer wall combo ready, KotL keeps blasting out, Kunkka keeps using his Tidebringer, Mirana keeps using Starfall. I mean, this is just ridiculous.
Yep. And Centaur's, he's got a Crystallis in the stash.
Yes, he does.
I respect that. He's gonna crit people, apparently. I would prefer a Manta, maybe, but at this point, what does Manta really do, actually?
Makes illusions.
I've now got this irrational need for Centaur to buy a little bit more strength, so he gets to 6k.
Oh, yeah.
It's just slightly uncomfortable seeing him being so close, but so far, you know.
Yeah. I don't think he'll make it there, unfortunately. He might actually go downward. You have a better chance of him probably sacking some of those items and getting closer to 5k at this rate. But we'll see, as it's a very frugal situation. Broodmothers, look at this, feeling adventurous. Alright, you know, they popped the smoke, at least trying to stay undercover inside. I don't know if they're planning on doing any sort of outdoor exploring.
Well, Slark still does not have buyback, so if they catch him, they probably just win. So Slark needs to be careful for that. Batrider got Shadowblade, I think, for that very reason. Also, Shadowblade is just pretty nice on Batrider. Yeah, just let's see what happens. The Aegis is going to be for a bit longer.
Arcane Rune also in the pocket of Batrider. He could be the one to close this game out for alternate. Huge grab, clutch grab here on the Slark.
Do they have a
Could
do
be
they have
enough.
any detection? I don't think they do have detection.
Oh
nearby.
my, he's
Oh, they have someone
creeping
with
in.
puddle, but he doesn't have range.
Focus is the one in front too. He goes for it. He jumps in, he gets the lasso, he gets the pullback, and that's when they pop everything. They look to blow him up. Can they do it?
Oh,
They
just has
can.
buyback now.
He has buyback now, though, and will be able to come back for round number 2. And as they see that happen, alternate 180 and get the hell back. But Mirana looking to make a chase happen. Jumps in, gets the Dagon off. Looking to go for the Phoenix. Phoenix is able to get the egg. Mirana seeing if she can right-click it down, but is not going to be able to. Here comes Focus again for that round number 2. Jumps in. Tries to go toe-to-toe with the Viper. Nice pullback, nice into the wall. Is it going to be enough to be able to burst him down? The boat will fly forward here, and they get the burst. They take down the Viper. Here comes Broodmothers now. They blast on in. They'll get the Elder Titan. Focus looking to make chase. It looks like the Phoenix is already up and out at this point. The Centaur has made it back inside his home. And
Yeah, so
Broodmothers hold.
Viper had an Aegis and then didn't have one, and then immediately after losing Aegis got hit by a boat, which is quite unfortunate. It's not something you really want to happen to you day by day. So, Focus now. He's still in this precarious position for the next 6 minutes. He needs to play safe. Viper's going to be up and with buyback in 50 seconds. So you can expect... Oh no.
Mid lane. They get the grab onto Focus. They pull him back with the Centaur set up in the lasso play. They're going to get him. He's out. 2 minutes. No buyback. With seeing that, Elder Titan buys out. And this is now Alternate's time to move on down. Oh no, Slark, what has happened? Pushing out mid lane. He gets turned around and gets caught. He's
Centaur's
out.
just finishing up his Bloodthorn. I like it. Look at the tier 4s.
Oh man.
They do so much.
Are they going to be able to get in there and close this one out? They got 90 seconds with no Slark to deal with here. That Kunkka wish he had more damage at this point to be able to fend them back, but Centaur has one thing on his mind, and that's tier 4s. One goes down, the other falls shortly after here. He will be forced to lose all of his mana. He gets stunned up and locked down. Here comes the boat from Kunkka, but man, Mirana chunks down all of her life, will be forced to eat the cheese. Jumps back, looking to go for a backliner, not going to be able to get it. There's the Yules coming out from the Elder Titan. They will lose Mirana. She'll be forced to buy back, and we still have a minute before Slark can even come to play. I don't think it's going to be happening here. Will Alternate be able to close out this game they have fought so hard to hold on to? They get the lasso, they get the pullback. They're looking to go for Mirana for a second time. She leaves, she makes it away, but she has to go back into the fountain, which allows Alternate to make their move for the Ancient. Can they get it? Centaur so low, they burst him down, they get him down. He does have a buyback, and he goes right for it, and he's going to TP right back in. This is their only chance. They want to close it out now. It's been long enough. We're about 70 minutes in. He moves in, he crushes, he stomps, he takes down Kunkka, he gets it done. 20 seconds for the Slark. Can they do it? Vacuum pullback comes out. Huge response from Broodmothers. A boat flies forward. They get the wall, but the Centaur still holds. This man's a machine. Fighting on forward, gets off the stomp. Darkseer still manages to slide away, and we have 5 seconds. The Slark has managed to hold out, and he will be able to come back and defend.
Oh, he's gonna get the
Alternate
X.
couldn't do it. Can he get close enough for the X? He's going for it. Oh my god, they won't be able to see him. He heads south, pops the Stampede, makes it to the high ground, and he's out. Oh my god. Makes it back and away, dodges the arrow there at the end. They get the Ancient down to about half of its life, but they can't get it done. Wow, huge props to Broodmothers. They hold. Huge Darkseer combos, big Kunkka plays, and apparently we need a minute to reflect.
Yep. So that was Darkseid just getting the wall down, and then he managed to, stay hydrated. And then he vacuumed people several times into the wall. And he got away with it. And Viper, over time, just was losing health to the bottom every single time. The Conquer Tidebringer, and then eventually he just got hit by a torrent and then fell over. Are you having fun?
That was crazy. I need a second here. I'm cleaning off my glasses right now because apparently it's bathroom time for people. I've learned that. I didn't know that. I worked at a restaurant. It was a nicer. It was. I guess it was like a nicer restaurant because their bathrooms didn't say like men or women or whatever. It said WC, which apparently means water closet. I didn't really know that at the time. So now whenever I see WC, as they have mentioned, I know that means they need to use the bathroom.
Yeah.
Is that what they call it where you are? Water closet?
No, we just call them the toilets or loos or whatever.
Loos, yeah.
I think I first heard of WC when I played WoW. Actually, that was like
Really?
a thing where people say WC in like raid or whatever, and then I go,
Does
"What
that mean
And
water
so I went,
closet or
water
something
closet.
else? Oh, it does.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah,
It does mean water closet. Yeah, when they say WC.
I was like, when someone asked me like, "Oh, where's the water closet?" and I'm like, I thought they meant like where the water heater was, or I don't know what they were talking about. I mean, even when people came up to me and they're like toilet, I'm like, or like, where's the toilet? I'm like, it's in the bathroom. I'm not very helpful. That's what I'm getting at.
I'm glad I didn't ask you that question.
So, all right, huge hold. Viper's going to be back. Where's our buybacks? No one has one except for Phoenix. And it looks like we're going to get going.
Thank God he has a buyback. Because
Yeah.
without that, I don't know what
I
we'd do.
mean, does he even have... He has 10 seconds for an egg, so at least he gets one more egg play. Just dive in, lose your first life, come back, and have the egg of your life.
Oh, he's got the energy booster so he can refresh ult. Okay, I get it.
Okay.
Not that his ult has done anything in these 60 minutes thus far. But maybe he'll pull it out eventually.
Well, here we go, back underway here as the uphill fight once again for Broodmothers to get these lanes pushed out. I don't know how long. How long have they been at like a 2 racks deficit? It feels like almost like 30 minutes or something, like 20 minutes or so.
Yeah, I think since the 30-minute mark.
They have been continuously forced to take less farm across the map overall and just kind of continue to double back and get their bearings with keeping the pressure on the side of Alternate. While Alternate have been stacking up a huge Centaur and defending and not really losing so much. They've had the freedom to be able to kind of reset and give it another go, but you know, eventually the scaling potential of Broodmothers got a bit too high, and then we got into some weird Dota dimension now where we're in our 3rd tier of items. So heroes who are normally not good in the late game are actually good in the late game, and heroes that are good in the late game are kind of just awkward now. It's been a crazy game, so... Bloodthorn, you know, on Centaur. You don't see that every day. Bloodthorn, 2 hearts, Abyssal.
I'm not entirely sure why. I would say why what, but I don't know. I'm not sure why a lot of things are happening. Centaur's got 2 hearts. I still don't understand that. I don't think that's very good, but Phoenix now, instead of buying the refresher, he gets the Lotus Orb, so I thought he was going to get a refresher and that'd be cool, but it wasn't to be.
Not on this day.
So they're just X-marking and sending Podem to go double Starfall waves. So this game is just being prolonged.
Yeah, it's
which I appreciate, by the way.
It's a huge tournament. I mean, $5,000. Don't make me repeat it. $5,000 of money that these teams are battling it out. So it's just, I mean, there's TI, and then there's BTS Series Europe. So, I mean, I understand they want to make sure
it gets
that they
to
walk
a
with
point where the money doesn't matter. It's about pride.
Oh yeah.
You don't want to be the person that loses this game.
With 2 heart Centaur. Yeah, that can't happen. So you've already made it so far and so committed and so deep. You want to walk away with the new meta above your head. So Arrow off the mark here. Looking to make chase. Can Kaiser get the catch they want? Him in focus, hand in hand. Don't recognize that a lone bird just happened to glimmer and go south, but they are going to be able to make the catch-up play and see the Elder Titan. Does manage to get the Ghost, the Yules. Eventually he will go down, so...
Oh, Phoenix is still in a bit of trouble.
Oh, yes, Phoenix is. Phoenix does have a buyback, and may have to use it here. Obviously, we'll hold the egg for the greater goods. No Elder Titan, though. 70 seconds. We'll not have a buyback, so What kind of timing do we have here? Broodmothers do have a push coming in from the bottom lane. It's not a slow push either here. I mean, that's 4 pretty big range creeps and a pretty full wave. Okay, never mind. Morana's here now, so that's going to be taken care of. You can't forget they always have the X and coddle factor, man. That must be so sweet. Constant mobility across the map.
The good thing is that Radiant have this large creep wave on top, and Viper won't kill it just yet, so maybe they can get some building damage. I want them to get some building damage.
Yet to even get really any sort of significant building damage. They do have the one Rax top lane, but all right, moving in, focus, pounce, not going to quite be there. Steps back, Viper strike onto focus. He's getting kited a little bit, but they are going to be able to vacuum on in. That's when Centaur charges on forward. Phoenix is here, dishes out the Sunray. Here comes the Torrent. Here comes the boat. Flies on forward. Focus continues to go to work. He's going to be able to shred right through the Bat Rider. He's going to be out nearly 2 minutes. No buyback for him. Focus, pounce, not on the mark. X will pull back the Viper, though, right towards the wall. Not going to be close enough to be able to get that illusion, though. And I don't know if Broodmothers want to be doing too hard of a commitment at this point. They're having to play Gatekeeper, though, outside of the fountain here of Alternate. All of them head back inside. And now Broodmothers step back to look to finish what they started in the top lane. But it's taking a bit of extra time. Glyph was there. Now it's not. That means the Rax is going to be going down. And they shift gears towards the middle lane. And Alternate, they got to dig deep here to find a way to be able to stop the power of Broodmothers. They had this game. Started with about a 12k net worth advantage their way with 2 sets of Rax, and now suddenly they're looking at an opportunity where maybe Broodmothers are just going to take the game right back. They make their jump now, and the move is going to be on to Centaur here. They have the muscle power. There's the boat. The force board's not going to be good enough, and they get him down. 2 minutes, no buyback. The beast has been slain. Now a very confident Broodmother squad will happily leap on forward and also take care of the Viper. He will have a buyback, though, but I don't think the one Viper is going to be enough. Broodmothers, is it straight to tier 4s? Nah, they're going to head back for the mid lane here. They get that tier 3 down, and now Focus will be able to move right in for the melee Rax. It looks like they've been able to shrug off the raid boss here and come with the win. This will allow Broodmothers to actually close out the series 2-0 if they can get it.
Yep. At this point, I'm just cheering for whoever's hitting buildings. So
you're cheering right now. It's all Broodmothers.
6k gold. He's going to walk in. He's going to hit the melee Rax. Phoenix is looking at him. Phoenix is considering using some spells. Got Sunray. He might go for it, but he might not. Viper's just kind of getting X marked.
Yeah, he tried to move in with a Viper strike. Get X pulled into the wall here. Elder Titan just zapped on down, and that seems to be it. Very hectic conclusion to this very long game, but it looks like Alternate are not going to be able to close things out. Broodmothers hold on and persevere into the later portions of this game. Centaur's back, gets the money, has the buyback now, looks to make his move. Kaiser's in trouble, locked into the tower, and gets chopped down. All right, Slark has to buy back. And I don't know if he can, he's getting called back in, but I don't know if they have enough to close the thing out.
Oh, please don't defend
I think I might have spoke too soon.
Yeah, it's not over just yet.
I don't think
They've
it's over yet.
They've still got life in them.
It is not over yet. But they don't want to accept that. They want it to be over. They have worked so hard to at least bring it back into a point where they have the Megas themselves. Tier 4s still separate an exposed Ancient, so they begin to go to work. Still no Viper for about a minute. Elder Titan out for about 10 more seconds. And now they go to work on the Ancient here. Come on, Alternate. What are you going to do about it? There's the jump in. There's the lasso. There's the pullback. They're looking to go. Big damage coming up from Sunray and the movement from Centaur. Can they burst down this Slark? The boat, the rum. It will come out. It will help mitigate the damage. Big Earth Splitter, though, comes out from the Elder Titan. Nice catch, but it doesn't seem like it's going to be enough. They're able to bring down the Darks here. He does have a buyback. He will be forced to use it. Kunkka out. Still Centaur holding on. Miranda, though, begins to go to work, trying to get rid of that pesky little Elder Titan on the back end side, but now Focus is back in. They're going to get that Centaur down, and they're going to get the job done, Ryan. It is finally over. Broodmothers get it done in about 70 minutes in after being behind and falling victim to what was the biggest, girthiest, manliest Centaur we'd seen in quite a while. It doesn't really bring enough damage and enough to be able to allow Alternate to close the thing out, so Broodmothers come back and they take it. And they take the series 2-0, Ryan.
Yep, they got the 2-0. And just because you can build 2 hearts and Centaur with free farm and safe lane doesn't mean you should.
So, Team Alternate, obviously, they bring a lot of character to the games. They bring a lot of character to the drafts. It was nice to see a lot of fresh faces and a lot of what their ideas are about the game. But what would you think? Is this something they could continue to polish and hope to bring? Or, do they need to kind of reevaluate, go back to the drawing board a bit?
Well, I think the draft this game, honestly, was better than the one they had last game.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that they could have made it work if they had a little bit better itemization. And I didn't really feel that the Viper contributed that much. Although the Viper did keep the Mirana quite underfarmed, I think I didn't feel that was necessarily what they had to focus on. So maybe a different hero other than the Viper, something that could be a little bit more active. Because it kind of felt like they had to just sit there and take whatever Radiant wanted to give them. So,
well, this is not the end of the road. This is not a single elimination. It's just the group stages after all, so we'll get to see more from Team Alternate here in the near future, along with Broodmothers, but we're done witnessing them for today. We do have one more 2-game series coming up. As you can see, we have Flipside versus Yellow Submarine. I'll actually be joined by Ryuboars for that one. Rime, it's been actually an absolute pleasure having you for the first full chunk of this day. I'm sorry about the scheduling and how things got prolonged quite a bit, and the games were pretty damn crazy, so I hope you found some entertainment out of it, and I'm sure we'll be seeing more from you later in this week, right?
yeah, I had fun. It was nice.
Awesome.
So,
Thank
I'll
you
be
so
back
much,
when I
man.
can.
Absolute pleasure. If you guys want to show some love to Rime, go hit him up on his Twitter at RimeDota. That's RIME. I am going to be going, though. I'm not going to be going, but I'm going to go on a small break while I can because I'm sure this next game is going to be starting up in a hot second. So we'll see you soon for more Dota. Take care.